3 surprising hustles that I had in prison that may surprise you. Let's get into it. Hustle number 1 that may surprise you is I ran a successful and actually, for on the inside, lucrative bingo game. Yes, bingo game in prison. And I know what you're thinking, but this has been me in life. I'm always trying to do something that isn't being done, and bingo was not being done. I knew that it was a good way to get guys to sweat numbers because gambling is about the rush on the inside. And the payoff was instant. Guys could see the payoffs being given to them on the spot, and it just made sense. For a soup, you could get a card and the opportunity or chance to sometimes win pots as big as $50 plus. That's good money considering that me, as the house man, had a 20% house cut on everything. That may vary depending on state when it comes to gambling and what the house is actually able to cut, by the way. Next surprising hustle that I had was writing letters for my fellow prisoners so they could send them to their loved ones, spouses, etc., their girlfriends, whoever it is that they were trying to lock in with. I was literally that guy. I was like Shakespeare or Mercutio, whoever was the one that was actually saying the words. I don't know. But anyways, I would write these letters, and the benefit to me was I would have them locked in then as like monthly clients, because once I sent the letter out and it was successful, they wanted me to keep writing the letters, like literally. And I would actually have this whole thing where I'd sit down, do a consult with him, ask him what he was trying to say, and I would actually sit down and convey that to the best of my ability in these beautiful, poetic, heartfelt, touching letters and sometimes poems. Yes, it was very lucrative, and I continue to do that all the way out the door, by the way. Side note, it's about 137 degrees down here in Georgia. The next hustle that may or may not surprise you, depending if you've been to where I've been, is people used to pay me to do their legal work. And when I say legal work, I'm talking about to file their legal motions to be placed in a court of law. Anybody that's done time, inside of every prison, there is a Johnny Cochran, a Robert Shapiro, a beast when it comes to that legal work. And there's somebody that's locked up, unfortunately, that may not be able to free themselves, but they're helping guys get home every year. Literally, I know a few. I had gained some credibility while doing my own legal work, filing some motions, including filing my own conditional pardon. And as word spread, guys, they trusted me. I did a couple of cases for free, pro bono, if you will. And eventually, guys asked how much. No promises were ever made, but I really did put in my all. And we got some results a lot of time, believe it or not. And at the very least, the family was able to gain more knowledge and move forward in a more favorable manner when it came to their loved one's case or the individual I was working with, period. These are 3 surprising hustles I had in the prison, or maybe not surprising, depending on where you did your time, etc. Please put some of your surprising hustles from prison in the chat. Remember, we're not glorifying, we're just educating, advocating, and as always, stay free.